got the vibe, yeah, we got the flow. Jeff Foxx, taking you behind the mic, keeping you in the know. Where the real stories are told, where the truth and the soul unfold. Now you know, it's the Jeff Foxx Show. Behind the Mic podcast.
Okay, thank you so much for stopping by today. It's the Jeff Foxx Show, Behind the Mic podcast. And today, we're joined by the incredible Marsha Ambrosius. From her Grammy-nominated days as one half of Floetry to her successful solo career, Marsha has been a true voice of soul, passion, and artistry. Let's welcome Marsha Ambrosius.
Hello.
Marsha?
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Marsha.
It's been some years.
You know,
early 2000s for sure.
we shooting down to the Bar Bat, which was a club. You guys were doing your thing. Oh, my goodness. It is so nice to talk to such a true artist. You know what I say you are? I say you're a national treasure.
Aw, thank you so much. That is an absolutely humbling opinion of me, and I'll receive the flowers and take it gracefully. Thank you so much.
You have put in the time. You have put in the work. You have an incredible fan base.
I really do.
Your music has healing power. If you're feeling a certain way, if a relationship is going a certain way, you listen to Marsha Ambrosius. She's a beacon. She's a pathway to feeling a lot better. Do you think of yourself like that?
You know what? My intentions were always to be that voice in the room and musically be that voice of reason. You know, growing up, I had so much music to listen to do just that. You know, you press play on your favorite Jodeci song or your favorite Marvin Gaye or Michael Jackson or Stevie, like whatever the mood is, and it completely changes your day. So for me to be doing music for this long and still have people that are still tuned in and listening, and I've been there along their journey. I've been through some heartaches, some breakups, some makeup, some weddings, some funerals. You know, it's life. And music is the soundtrack to that. So I'm just thankful to, you know, contribute in that way.
I hear that accent. I just love it. Let's take the short ride for folks, because every day you're being introduced to a whole new audience, whole new fan base.
Yes.
So we'll take the short ride.
Okay.
Where are you from?
Born in Liverpool, England, raised in South London, and I moved to America 24 years ago by ways of a free trip to do a poetry gig in Atlanta. And it kind of worked out. Then went to Philadelphia 2 weeks after that, and the year 2000, that was. And yeah, I got my first big break December of 2000, and by 2001, I was in the studio with Michael Jackson doing a song called Butterflies that I wrote when I was 16 about a boy that worked at McDonald's.
Oh, my God. That's a whirlwind.
It really is.
I met you as soon as you got here. I feel honored.
Yeah, you know, what's beautiful about the journey of it all, it does feel like yesterday. And I'm still as excited about making music and creating music as I was then as I am now. So the journey has been a beautiful one for sure.
Oh, absolutely. And Butterflies with Michael Jackson, that must have been a wonderful experience. Can you share?
Oh my goodness. I mean, what can I say? Just the greatest of all time. And that's putting it lightly. Mildly, and an understatement for such an icon, the king of pop, whatever you refer to him as. He was just a light and a hope of what, you know, you dream as an artist to work with someone that you'd grown up with and appreciated, you know, musically. And just, I'm just so glad that I got to see him firsthand really sing and really be in tune and in the studio and telling him what to do and, you know, singing the harmonies with him and arranging the song the way we did. You know, he listened to my demo and was like, no, I want it to sound exactly like how you did it, and allowed me, you know, the 23-year-old version of me to help him do that. I was 23 at the time.
That's a lot to take in.
Yeah, I dove in the deep end, not figuratively, but literally. You know, having Michael Jackson really guide me in that way and allowed me to step into my greatness so early on was very fortunate for me. It was just an absolute blessing and a memory I will forever cherish.
Can you imagine writing a song at 23 years old for Michael Jackson? Unbelievable. Wow.
It was amazing.
What did you learn from Michael Jackson?
That regardless of his stature and his status as an icon and king of pop, he was still very much ready to learn and listen and work and still wanted to perfect what he wanted out of the experience as well. So, I'd worked with people that may have been in the business for 5 minutes. They'd show up to the studio late. Michael Jackson, on the other hand, was in the studio 2 hours early, warming up his vocals and making sure that he was ready for when I was coaching him what to do. So just the level of professionalism, how kind he was, how down to earth he really, really was. And I really got to experience a side of him that was rare. I'm one of the few people that you can even ask that question on planet Earth. What was that like? And
that's true.
I'm glad I got to share smothered turkey chops and mac and cheese and collard greens and strawberry cheesecake from Jezebel's in New York. That was our order of food every day.
Wow.
So just to really truly break bread with the king is such an honor.
Just a life-changing experience.
Absolutely.
She took us there, didn't she? It has often been said that artists from Europe, they just really have a great love for music. They support music. They support all artists. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, I think it's the size difference. So being that the UK is significantly smaller to the US, we were such a minority over there that anything Black, anything for the culture, anything for us by us, we held onto it like we needed to preserve it. So we wanted to support and we wanted to see ourselves in the music, in the art, in the experience. So it wasn't just the music, it was movies, it was TV shows. So I remember my aunt, she would send us VHS tapes at the time of Cosby Show, Different Worlds, you name it. I had everything, Living Single, and then moving on to In Living Color. And it was, all of the things that allowed me to see the American experience, especially at the age that I was when I was really able to indulge, like 15, 16 years old, and then getting the demo tapes of Jodeci when they were first starting out. And I heard Got a Love in 1988, 1989, and I get to New York in 1989 by ways of a vacation that my mother had taken me and my brother on, and I fell in love, like deeply in love. So I'm in New York 1989, and that year is when Do the Right Thing comes out, Batman's in the theaters, and Prince has the soundtrack.
That's
it was
right.
just different. So I feel like from the UK, we just wanted to see ourselves in the art. And I've really had this affirmation about feeling like every single day I'm in America, it's a movie.
I hear you.
I love it, and I'm inspired by it every day.
You were living your dream.
Absolutely.
That's what it was. And it's interesting because you have so many facets to your personality, your skill set. You're quite a basketball player. A lot of folks didn't know that. Marsha Ambrosius got game.
A street legend. Oh, so you heard. I'll let the streets do the talking. My dad was a basketball coach.
No kidding.
And also in the 70s funk band. So I had the best of both worlds. I had musical instruments in the house and a basketball. So I ended up playing for the local club, Brixton Top Cats. That was our club. And that spawned some of the greats that then went on to the NBA. The Wild Gang played for my dad and gets over here. And he then, becomes Chicago Bulls' own. And basketball was my first love. And the reason why I wrote the song If I Was a Bird that appears on the Floetic album, the very first Floetry album,
right.
I wrote that about tearing ligaments and not being able to walk again.
Oh,
so If I Was a Bird was my nod to Michael Jordan's Come Fly With Me and not being able to fly like I wanted to.
Wow. You learn something new every day.
So basketball was my very first heartache.
Wow.
Yes, the basketball was my first heartache. It broke my heart. I tore ligaments, and I didn't factor in being injured and not being able to play anymore. So music became my plan B that works out ultimately, you know. So I was playing overseas. I played for England, and I had an opportunity to go to college over here, and I got injured during that season and had to figure it out. I was like, I don't think I could do this, and didn't pursue. So it was a touch and go experience, because my dad was very, very disappointed. I think he held a mini funeral for my basketball game and cried and mourned and grieved. He said, "Oh, my baby's never going to play again." And you know, you go through that whole thing, and you know, music it saved me in more ways than one, and it continues to do so.
You had another destiny on the horizon. That's
exactly.
For sure. Have you been following the emergence and the great success of the WNBA now?
I've been locked in. It's always been. I'm just glad that more eyes are on it, and due to, you know, the controversies that, you know, people will talk about, you know, why we're paying attention now. It's like, let's not go with why. Let's just do more now that the eyes are on the sport, you know. And I've always repped women's basketball. Like, my idols are Cheryl Swoops and Cheryl Miller, and, you know, like, I'm old school with it. I got the opportunity to play Tennessee when I was a kid, when they were really, really Tennessee. And I put up some buckets. I put up some numbers, and I was very excited about that.
What was your position?
I was a 2 and 3, and that's whether or not someone was injured. And then I didn't realize how, when I got to Europe and the States playing those teams, their 2 and 3s were like 6 foot and up, and I'm like 5'8", 5'9" at the time, and I was short. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to get a bit quicker than this and try and get my Kyrie Irving basketball handle skills together and get this point guard on, because they have to move me from that position. But no, I absolutely adore what's happening in the sport now, and just wish it well to the fullest. So if anyone's out there and wants to buy a team with me, I'm in Vegas, so I've seen the championship back to back out here, and so supportive of the ladies that are killing it. Yeah, it's been amazing.
Okay, Marsha, NBA playoffs right around the corner. Who's coming out of the East and who's coming out of the West this year?
I have to rep Philly because, you know, I lived there for a long time.
That's your stomping ground.
Philly, you know, I was there when AI was going to do it by himself. I mean, what can you say? Eric Snow, Aaron McKee, come on now. It wasn't enough. But yeah, we'll see. I respect good basketball, so I'm not really rooting for one team per se. I just want good, fair game.
There you go.
All competition, and I respect it all.
Amazing. You could talk to Marsha about anything, and she know what's up. Let's get back to this music, because you've been doing some big things. You got a collaboration with the great Dr. Dre. Now that's interesting. Tell me about that, Marsha.
Yes. You know what? It's been years in the making, but by the time the timing was absolutely on point and the universe said, now it's go time, it was such an easy process as far as creating the album. The album didn't take any time to put together once we knew what it was that we were going to do. But Dre and myself have been working with each other from 2005, I'd say, when I did a feature with The Game, and then I did some stuff with Busta Rhymes. That was working with him at the time, and, you know, little things here and there. And him and I, our rapport in the studio is he challenges me in a way that I don't find with other producers. He respects my craft so much that we push each other to do things that neither of us have done before.
Wow.
What we ended up creating this time around, due to traumatic experience that happens in both of our lives separately. Dre had that brain aneurysm that happened the top of 2021. I went through my own health issues, and then the pandemic happened. Right. And by the time I got back on my feet, and Dre's like, look, I just want to continue to inspire, make some good music, come out to LA and let's just see what happens. Like, we kind of connected and bonded through us not knowing what was going to happen in the world. So we were trying to preserve music and hold on to everything that we cared about. And then we had to time capsule everything that we'd learned, everything that hip hop is, that jazz is, that R&B is, that soul music is, that true R&B is. Like, what will we create? So Casablanca came around, and by the time we recorded the first song, we knew that we were onto something.
Casablanca. It really sounds interesting. How do you feel about it?
It's taken a long time as far as trying to clear samples, try and get all the musicians that we needed credited. I wanted to make sure that we did this right and musically did it its service. I'm in love with this project. Like, I listen to it like it's not even mine. There's so many elements that are on there that, you know, just pay homage to the greats that I'm pretty sure everyone will dissect and hear, oh my gosh, I can hear that in there. And, you know, the greatest experiences I've ever had. The hardest thing I've ever had to do. Working with Dre is not easy. Not everyone comes out the other side and says, okay, I've made it through working with someone that is as meticulous in the studio as he is and as precise, but the respect level that we have for one another, he really let me do my thing, and this was a complete joint venture, and it's great to be credited alongside someone that is as great as Dr. Dre. Casablanca. Dr. Dre presents Casablanca by Marsha Ambrosius. One of my favorite songs from the album, One Night Stand, which I love because it pays my little nod to some of my favorites, Mary Jane Girls, Patrice Rushen, Mary J. Blige. I have a whole symphony in there, an orchestra, and it's a beautiful, beautiful piece of art that I love. It's on my foot, myself.
Really great to reconnect with you from the beginning to the growth. You definitely have a unique calling, and your light is going to be shining brighter and brighter every day.
Oh, thank you so much. And I truly appreciate you really, really supporting me from the beginning. I don't forget a face, nor a name, nor a time and place where, you know, we've been. And I truly thank you for really being there for me. Like, when I knew absolutely nothing. I was fresh from the UK. Yeah, that's a beautiful thing. And I'm glad to be speaking with you now.
Oh, you're the best. Nobody better.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
We're going to follow you.
Please do.
How do folks get in contact with you?
Instagram, that other thing that Twitter used to be, just my full name, Marsha Ambrosius, at Marsha Ambrosius, MarshaAmbrosius.
Fantastic. I tell you, she's absolutely wonderful. And thank you so much for checking out this episode of the Jeff Foxx Show Behind the Mic podcast, a conversation with Marsha Ambrosius. And remember, you can also check out the nationally syndicated Jeff Foxx radio show, bringing you the best in music, culture, and conversation every day. You can also stream us online. Just look for the Jeff Foxx Show, affiliates, and pick your station. Once again, thank you so much. You take care. We'll talk to you next time.
We got the vibe, we got the flow. Jeff Foxx, taking you behind the mic, keeping you in the know. Where the real stories are told, where the truth and the soul unfold. Now you know it's the Jeff